Jamaica's opposition is warning the Andrew Holness-led government not to meddle in the political crisis plaguing Venezuela. Former Justice Minister Senator Mark Golding says Jamaica must be cautious in its utterances against the Nicolas Maduro administration. He says the government must be cognizant of the history between the South American ally and Jamaica. Mr. Golding says Venezuela has provided housing solutions to the poor and most recently the preferential Petrocaribe oil deal. Senator Golding's comments follow accusations that Jamaica is siding with the Organization of American States, OAS, to topple the Maduro administration.
It saddens me to think that the government of Jamaica could now be on the defensive, so to speak, trying to justify statements which are in the public domain, suggestive of a lack of support for the Venezuelan government that has been so very generous to the people of Jamaica, especially the poor and dispossessed people of our country. We note that the Venezuelan government has withdrawn from the OAS. It's not a matter that should be taken lightly. It has happened because of the partisan way in which the OAS has conducted its affairs in recent times in relation to Venezuela. And as has been admitted, the statements made by the Secretary General, which are not consistent with the OAS playing a constructive, independent, objective and balanced role in trying to help the resolution of the situation in Venezuela.
Senator Golding adds that the opposition will not support any efforts to undermine the legitimate Venezuelan government. In the meantime, he is commending St. Vincent and the Grenadines Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves, who has maintained that CARICOM take a united approach concerning the issues affecting Venezuela.
Call on the government of Jamaica to be very clear in its support for the democratically elected government of Venezuela that has been so generous to the government and people of Jamaica. And ask that we avoid nice sounding but vague diplomatic speak in our public pronouncements and correspondence, but rather be definitive and clear on the matter, as has Prime Minister Ralph Gonsalves in his letter, which was published, I believe, as letter of the day in the Daily Gleaner a few days ago. We would like to salute Prime Minister Ralph Gonsalves for the consistency of his advocacy and the consistency of his adherence to principle in dealing with this matter. Foreign policy must be dealt with on the basis of principle. If you depart from principle, you go wrong.
Meanwhile, Senator Golding is questioning whether the government remains confident in the OAS's ability to broker peace in light of compromised statements from OAS Secretary General Luis Almagro.
Jamaica believes that the OAS is bigger than the Secretary General. And as we have stated here this morning and we have stated before, we have indicated our position in respect of his utterances. We believe that the OAS remains the hemispheric body within which we are able to play a role, and that it can play a role as it has in the past before, and it is for this reason that, yes, we will be attending the Foreign Ministers' Consultative Meeting, which is an institution within the OAS.
Unlike Parliament.
However, Foreign Affairs Minister Senator Kamina Johnson-Smith is rejecting the argument that Prime Minister Andrew Holness is calling for presidential elections in Venezuela.
In the letter written by the Most Honorable Andrew Holness, Prime Minister of Jamaica, in response to a letter written by Prime Minister Ralph Gonsalves of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Prime Minister Holness posed the question whether Venezuelans' call for gubernatorial and local elections, which are overdue as they were due to be held last year, would not be a demonstration of commitment to the principles of democracy and timely elections. He then noted expressly that presidential elections are not due until 2018. So I just wanted to clarify, I note a building narrative around Jamaica calling for presidential elections which are not yet due.